Hello everyone and welcome to a new quick look slash playthrough, depending on how we get on, with Racer 8, which is a puzzler slash racer slash spin all the blocks round game, which you can tell by the way how it's been ported over to PC. Started off its life as a mobile app. I'm assuming it's still a mobile app now. Not 100% sold on it at all by any means, and I'll explain as I go through it. Let me just play the first. Let me go back to the first level. No, it won't. Why do games not let you replay levels again? Will they not let me? No, it won't. I find that very annoying. Right, so we've done the first level and there was a tutorial which basically explains what's going on, so I'll have to do it now with this. So your car is going round this whole map thing, which you can drag and reorientate by clicking and holding anywhere around the outside of the thing. And what you've got to do is get through at least one checkpoint so far on these early levels. I'm sure that will go up later on. And you can get 3 lights by getting through a certain amount of checkpoints if you need to. You'll collect power-ups as you go around with fuel and so on like that. And blocks will change when the little man pops up and says, hey, I'm changing the block with the sign. But what you're doing is you're essentially trying to create yourself a path. There we go, that'll be me passing through a checkpoint. But as you can see, there's a real issue for me personally. And this is going to be the simplest level ever, just to get to the end there, thank God for that. There's a real issue in terms of visibility about where these blocks go and how things twist around and so on and so forth. So I've just gone for the one checkpoint and home just to get through that level. Because although the car doesn't necessarily go very quickly, it does mean that you're kind of a bit cross-eyed, for want of a better word. So this one's a rain-a-roo. Now you can zoom in and out of the level as well, which is fine. Weather dynamics going on here, so that's gonna do that really, don't I? The idea is that yellow ones create power-ups. My fuel is constantly running down and my speed is actually increasing the longer I stay on this level as well, which is where the whole points and risk versus reward comes from. That was not where I expected that car to go. And that's it. There is an issue with these whole junctions about where you actually expect cars to end up. And I'm finding that it's really not obvious at all where cars actually end up. And that's a real issue for the game as a whole. We've got a route home, so long as no... Oh no, we haven't. There we go, now we've got a route home. And that's my problem with the game. Sometimes you really genuinely think something's going one way and then it goes the other. It says in the instructions that it's going to always default right on a junction, but it really doesn't. And it just is up to its own mind whether it does or doesn't. And it's supposed to show in the tracks, but I find that it doesn't show it very well. And that is why there is quite a confusion. Thank you for awarding me 8 racer coins, whatever that was. And so we continue on. So let's go to level 4. So again, just a one checkpoint. And what will happen is that more and more things, it seems, as you go around the levels. Now that should in theory go left, which it does for that one. And this one should in theory go right for me. But I'm going to prepare each route right because I think it's going to... Yes, it does. Go for that. Now that's going to go right. Good. Ah! Crash. I knew that was going to happen. But it's just remembering to keep rotating that epoxy screen round. And thinking, right, well, where is it exactly that I want to go? Yeah, I knew that was going to do that. Which way is this one going to go? So it's going to go that way, okay. I'm actually going away from the checkpoint at the moment. Oh, that's the whole zooming in and out. I suppose it's actually quite good to keep it relatively high, so long as you can still see roughly where you're going. This is going to be such a pain. There we go. Does that go around? Yes, that does, but that's going to change. What are you going to change to? Okay. That I can deal with. As I can that. Thank you very much. That's level 4 completed there of Racer 8. But that seems to be the general crux of the game. As you're going through, I'm now on to number 5. Things will get more and more increasingly awkward as you go along. You have a shop, which is where you can help yourself out by getting a co-driver, which will put a little bead in front of like where you can go, so it helps you and kind of gives you a little bit of a suss on that. Auto driver lets things drive for you. As you map out roads, so that helps out. Fuel tank means that you'll get extra fuel, or a bigger fuel tank, refueling and so on, repairing your car, which I've not had to do, so I'm assuming the damage comes in at some point. If you go home, you also have a garage as well, which is where you can buy additional cars. Some of them have different acceleration and deceleration stuff, and then you have, for the different cars, as in a tiny booper there, we've got different paint schemes as you go through, but as you can see it's a bit buggy because it wants me to... It's very fat fingering, I should be pressing my finger on a screen, so it really is a direct port from a mobile app. So I think you need to bear that in mind. Some apps are ported well, some aren't. This one's a little bit clunky around the process. So that's Racer 8. I do genuinely like the concept of it. I'm not 100% sold in the way how it's been delivered. I think that it's quite clustered on the way how the graphics are displayed on the screen. I could see it really suiting a tablet, but there's some fun to be had, and I've noticed that it's not got a very good score on Steam, and I do think that that score is quite harsh, but what we'll do is while continue playing this, probably upload some more videos on it, just to see where the progression is, because if there's no progression then I really have already seen and done everything in Racer 8, and that could well be why there is such a low score. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave comments and suggestions down below, see how you get on with Racer 8, and thanks for watching. Take care and bye for now.